Sanitas is more than just making craft beer, serving craft beer, selling craft beer. Sanitas is it's a company, it's a family, it's an idea, and it's exciting to be a toddler. Boulder's my home. Boulder wasn't my home. Boulder isn't where I'm from. But Boulder is what I've become, where I feel a part of this town, and I feel like this town is part of me. And I came here to go to school originally, went to CU, had that experience, and completely fell in love. So when it was time to branch off, start a business, own a brewery, and be a part of where are we gonna build these roots, there really wasn't a conversation of where or why we were going to be there. We knew it was going to be Boulder, and Boulder was going to be that home. People who live here want to live here. They want to work in the outdoor industries. They want to work in craft beer. They want to work in technology or advertising. And they want to be around other people who feel that same kind of fire or drive to be around. So the partnerships that we have with the outdoor industry, with marketing agencies, with some of these tech companies that are popping up out of nowhere has been awesome. We thrive on the outdoor industries, and the partnerships that we've been able to build with other businesses that are in a different industry but the same spirit of industry has been amazing, and has been something that we've been able to grow with and grow because of. Craft beer is my life, and although I may be able to do other things, I don't know that I can do other things. Craft beer is who I am, and that fire inside of me is what I had to continue to explore. And so in the fall of 2013, Chris and I were able to have built a brewery and start Sanitas. And my story and the Sanitas story, I feel, are parallel paths. We're not the same, and Sanitas is exclusive of me, and I'm exclusive of Sanitas. But we're running down this path together that it's exciting, and it's challenging, and it's passion based, and putting all that passion together to try and run a successful business. Sanitas wasn't just started to be another craft brewery. And I don't want to downplay what's happening in craft beer by any stretch of the imagination, because I think it is absolutely phenomenal that we have seen in this era of breweries, some of the big breweries go from small to medium-sized craft breweries to leaders in industry and leaders in what has revolutionized or changed the craft scene of the American landscape. And that is so cool to watch and to be a part of on a micro level. With Sanitas, we wanted to be committed to doing things the Sanitas way. The Owl came to us first and foremost on the first collaboration beer that we ever did together while still brewing for Boulder Beer. And it was a late night. We were trying to name the beer that we had just collaborated on, and an owl dropped down into the parking lot, stole our attention, and we inappropriately named that beer Blackhorn after the Blackhorn owl, which doesn't exist. We thought we were clever. But then as we spent months writing the business plan and building what became Sanitas, we spent a lot of time working at night. And both of us have what we didn't know at the time, which we came to know, owl nests by our homes. And so we had a lot of interaction with owls. And it started as kind of just a harebrained idea to throw an owl as the logo. And as we kept thinking about it more and talking about it more and more of this interaction with these owls, we decided, let's go for it. Let's steal this experience of our personal lives and create that as our imagery. And so we started looking. We started Googling and looking at different images of owls and why we were going to pick what we picked. And we came across the Athenian owl, traditional of Athens, Greece. This is one of the more historic pictures of an owl. We found money that is from like 200 BC that has this same logo on it. So it's a very historic logo and something that we felt proud to associate with ourselves and to be able to grow with. So that's the owl in a nutshell. And then we really wanted to tie the logo into beer, the history of beer, craft beer, and make it a little bit less selfish. So we added the brewer's star. The brewer's star has 6 points, represents malt, barley, hops, water, yeast, and the brewer. And this is a logo that has been used for hundreds of years. Brewers originally started using this in Europe to put it on the side of their building to represent that they were brewing with quality ingredients. They weren't putting adjuncts, poor quality products or ingredients into their beer. And that's something that we believe in. And then what I love about the brewer's star is it comes all the way back around to the brewer. So many logos and so many conversations about infrastructure of companies and why people are doing things, they forget people. And people is number one here. Both the people that work here and the people that we get the opportunity to serve. And I think that the star encompasses that. Here at Sanitas, we're trying to make the best beer with the best team that we can make and explore unique styles and try to have fun with our beer. And if we continue to have fun with our beer and do a great job with that, I know with certainty that the sales will follow.
I get to live my dream. I get to play on my own playground, you know? And for me, I get to kind of blend both sides of my brain, and where it's analytical and artistic at the same time. Beer really encompasses that for me, where it is something that you need to be creative but consistent, which is both of those things kind of blended together for me, you know? Now let's go in order here numerically, right? So the first one we did was Black IPA in a can. For us, we really liked the combination of the dark malt flavors and that really nice resinous hop aroma that it has, nice bitterness. For that one, we spent a lot of time developing it, really getting it the way we wanted, blending technique and process with interesting ingredients to make a beer that I'm really excited to drink. The second one we did was a Saison, which is something that was for us harkening back to sort of the original ideas of what a Saison can and should be, in my opinion. So we did our first 2 cans for the first year that we were open, and then, you know, we really wanted to prove to ourselves and the world around us that we could really start and run a brewery without only doing an IPA. So I think it was probably 13 or 14 months after we opened, we really started to toy with the idea of putting an IPA out in cans. And I didn't want to make an IPA like anyone else, so I wanted one that blended some of these really nice Southern Hemisphere hops that really get a line on, those nice topaz hops that have some tropical fruit and still keep that kind of nice resinous pine note. We did it with a little more malt character than some of those West Coast IPAs. I really like a beer that is nice and balanced. I want to be able to drink a beer, not just suffer through it. So that took us through that second year, and then this past year we released 3 new cans. About a year ago we released the Grand Cru. The Grand Cru for us is our Belgian Dark Strong, sort of a take on a quad, but maybe not a traditional quad. And then in this past summer we released 2 new products, the Citrus Lager and the Cherry Saison. The Cherry Saison really started out as kind of a play on our Saison. Through the prior summer we were playing with a lot of different fruits, different purees, concentrates, juices, whole fruits, and we tried a lot of different things, and you know, people really dug on the fact that we had a nice fun fruited Saison through the summer. And one of the flavors that really stood out to us was that cherry, and we played with, you know, I would say probably 7 or 8 different types of cherry, and really settled on the Balaton cherry puree as being that nice complement to the Saison. So it has sort of a sweet and tart character to it. The Citrus Lager also had a similar long germination period. We did our first California Common Style Lager as a collaboration beer for the Collab Fest 2 years ago, and we really liked making it. That one was very hoppy, and then we were approached by a restaurant here to make a beer that would pair well with Mexican food, and that idea came back up again, so we started playing with the idea of doing a California Common Style Lager with a little bit of citrus, and we tried a bunch of different ones, and you know, we did it on tap for just a little bit, and it really took off, which led us to develop it to a canned product, which has been really successful in the last 6 months or so. So for our 3rd year anniversary, we released our first ever beer in a bottle, and you know, we'd really embraced cans as being a big part of what we are here, and I really think that, you know, although the bottle is a departure, it really fits the style that we've put in there. I think of cans as being a very selfish package, and what I mean by that is when I'm drinking a can, it's for me, and when you're drinking a can, it's for you. And when you put beer into a bottle, it really changes your relationship with that package, and it really sets you up in such a way that it's a beer to be shared. You know, you have to pour it out. You got to get a glass out, probably 2, and find a friend, and that's really the intent of that size and that style of package. And for us, we've been making interesting and fun sour beers for really the better part of our existence here. Our first ever barrel fills came just a month after we opened to begin what has become our wild and sour projects. And it took a long time to scale it up and perfect it enough to be confident to put that product into a package and release it to the world. So we played around with a lot of different approaches, and we really settled on one that involves wine barrels, some Brett's, some partially fermented Saison, and a long aging period to really get nice vinous character, nice tartness, and nice balance. And we tried that on draft for quite a while before we really were, you know, confident in it to put it into a bottle. And it's bottle conditioned for 2 months before it gets released, so it's nice character from both its time in the barrel and its time conditioning in the bottle. Finished with that cork and cage, which for me is really the perfect way to finish a beer of that caliber and of that approach. You know, I think that really sets the stage as you approach that to open the top in a way that makes it more celebratory, that makes it more special, because that is a beer that I do feel is very special, and it is something that we're all really very proud of here. You know, it's an awesome beer.